Hello, welcome to Mad Goes Racing, and today we are in Autmobilista 2 version 1.0. Now this is the sort of final EA release, if you like, and what I'm going to do is have a run through of some of the new content, or all of the new content in fact, some of it just to have a look at and some of it to actually have a drive around and give you a rough idea of what's what. Now, I'll just have a run through what's been added. In terms of cars, the first thing is the Stockcar 2020 series, which I will scroll down and see if I can find. Is it that one? Yes, that one. Try and get the right one. Now, can I? Yes. Right. First thing to note, there are two different stock cars. There's the Chevy and there is the Toyota. So I think basically they're the only difference is, of course, them being stock cars. They presumably are exactly the same chassis, engine, etc., etc. So they should be pretty much of a muchness in terms of performance. I don't know if the body shell makes any real difference aero-wise. I should hope not. But who knows? We'll have a drive in those. They are quite a late addition to the game, so they are still a work in progress, as is one of the tracks at least. These are also, I think, if I just back out a couple of times, you'll see that the championship is now available, but what you got is basically, I believe, just the Stockcar Brazil. So it's 9 rounds, 9 rounds across all Brazilian tracks. So if you like your Brazilian tracks and your Stockcar 2020, that's what you're going to get. I'm assuming at some point they will add a load more championships. Don't quote me on that, but I assume that's what's happening. Obviously, if you only ever had one championship and nothing else, I think most people will be going, "Oh, I don't like this game," and they'll probably be quite within their rights to say so, because obviously you want more than one championship. I assume there will be a custom championship added at some point, or the ability to produce a custom championship, so we'll see. But for now, that's what you're getting. I don't know how much control you've got over the settings. I haven't actually looked at the championship at all, so we might have a play with that some other time, when we're not trying to do 3 billion other things at the same time. Copa Montana series, which is I think that, isn't it? No, hang on. No. Where was it? Can't see it. Oh, that's it, isn't it? Is that the Copa Montana? Yeah. It's the I said I'd have a look in the showroom, didn't I? We'll show this one in the showroom. It's sort of V8 Ute stroke NASCAR truck type, similar sort of thing. I presume it's just yet again another sort of stock car-y type thing, but just with a more truck-like look to it. I mean, I have to say the textures are really good quality. I think they're using much larger textures than they did in Project Cars 2, which means that the close-ups like this do look a lot better. Again, great looking car, and if I press the right button, what have we got in the way of liveries? Quite a few. The liveries are much improved over some of the early ones, which were just like a couple of colours, so these have got a little bit more life to them. If I go back to the stock cars and have a look. Wrong button, wrong button, wrong button. I'll get the right button in a minute. Have a quick look in the showroom. I do wish they'd make it so you can zoom in and out and do other things in the showroom, because for some reason that's a bit blurry, which doesn't give a particularly good impression. Let's try that one. That's better. Yeah, I believe they've got all the correct names for this year's drivers, because I believe they're doing like an esports championship using, and I believe that starts today actually, using AMS2 for the 2020 Brazilian stock cars. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes off. Hopefully without a hitch, because that'll be really nice to see if they do. So again, so like liveries, I think that's all the official liveries for those. I believe, I might be wrong, but I think I'm right. So that's the stock cars, the Montana Polo stock cars 1979. This is the sort of much older stock cars. Again, the definitely got a bit of a retro feel to some of the choices of livery there. This is yeah, sort of definitely older. Probably got more power than it has grip by a goodly amount, which is always fun. No downforce, so you'll spend as much time going sideways as you will going forward. So I'm sure I did try driving one of these, and it was quite an interesting experience. They're very similar to the Opala old stock. The difference is the old stock originally it had the same power output as these, I believe, but what they've done is they've actually upped that to closer to 300 horsepower, and that's decidedly sideways everywhere. So yet another good choice of car for the sideways enthusiast, shall we say. Next is the street cars. Have now got two cars, which are quite funny because the Ultima is quite a dinky looking little car, and then you've got this rather large, and presumably it's only available in sort of fairly plain colours, because I assume they're all original colours. Chevy Camaro SS, again that's a little bit blurry, but you get a reasonable idea of how it looks. This thing is definitely a bit of a beastie. If you're not careful, if you don't give it a small enough number in the traction control, you'll just spend all your time with the rear tyres spinning and spinning and spinning and doing absolutely nothing else. You won't go anywhere, you'll just sit there. So once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite good fun to drive. It's just a bit of a beastie to get a handle on, really. Again, it's only recently been added. There's probably some work to be done on it to get it to work a bit better. I think once they've got the traction control settings right, it should be fine. It should basically, if you set the traction control slip quite low, like 2% or something ridiculous, it, according to those people who've driven the real thing, is much more like it should be. I think the traction control setting was 15, 20, something. That's far too much slip, and basically you just go off a line and you never go anywhere. And then even when you're at speed, it's just not gripping up at all. So, but that's actually quite fun to drive. Right, now one of the interesting bits. Not that it's not all been interesting so far. Formula Retro. Now this is 5 cars, including the 3 officially licensed 70s Formula 1 cars, which is the Brabham BT44, which we'll have a quick look at in the showroom in all its martini goodness, which presumably it doesn't say martini because they're not allowed to, so it'll probably say something else like Brabham. That is definitely martini colours. You can see the sort of attention to detail on the engine. Every single bolt head individually done. Could do with that being in focus, so you actually get to have a good look at his bum. But lovely looking car. The Lotus again. I don't know if they've changed I think one or two people said the yellow's a bit too yellow. It's not gold, and I think I have to agree. It could do with being changed very slightly to be a little bit more goldy. But in terms of modelling, it's great. Possibly do a little bit more in the way of polygons on the rear disc by the looks of it. It's got but I can't remember what I got settings wise in terms of the and this showroom definitely needs some work. And last but not least, in terms of the licensed cars, the McLaren M23, which of course was sponsored by a tobacco company, but he won't say it on there anyway. Again, great attention to detail. Nice inboard discs on the back end, and again that really does need some work on this showroom, because it's doing itself a disservice, I think you should say. The other two cars are, I was just going to say, what other liveries do you get? What's that one? I'm not sure what that one is. That might have been one of the... Is that the Walker? See, there were potentially some of these were run by other teams, so that's just pretty much plain white, that one. So you get people like Rob Walker in the States ran a lot of Lotuses, if I remember rightly. Now you got the Risa Studios V12, I think this one is. Yeah, the V12. Got a lot of similarities to various parts of the various cars. Obviously, it's sort of generic, but based on that sort of period. If you look through, you'll probably find at least one or two cars from that period with that type of airbox, same as the V8 version. I think Hesketh ran an airbox intake very, very similar to that. So that again, that's the V8 version. So it should have something very similar to the power output of the other cars, which I assume are all going to be pretty much of a muchness, within a few horsey power of each other. So all great cars, all great additions. Last vehicles, still two to go. You might have seen it as we whipped past. There is the Ginetta. Damn, did it again. G55. This is the Supercup GT4, which is basically I think last year or the year before's model. So it's not got currently ABS and traction control as factory options. So if you go for your factory settings, you won't have ABS or traction control. Lots of nice liveries, which you may or may not recognise as being very similar to one or two from Project Cars 2. So I'm not going to say that they borrowed some, but if you look, I think these two, 18 and 19, if you look in Project Cars 2, you'll find a very, very, very similar car, just with exactly the same livery, just a different car. So I'm not saying they borrowed them, but they're damn similar. But then they are the same car, more or less, GT4. Like I said, this is the Supercup version. So interior-wise, it's got different instrumentation to the Project Cars 2 version. But in terms of body and everything else, it's pretty much the same. I don't know if they've redone the liveries or not, because these actually look like they might be, again, higher quality. than some of the Project Cars 2 ones. I might be doing one or other of them a disservice, I'm not sure. But again, nice looking car. And last, but by no means least, if I can find the darn things, where's the P1s? There is the only available in 2 choices of colour, which is slightly better than only 1 choice of colour. The G58 P1 prototype, or P2 prototype. I'm never sure whether that was a P1 or a P2. I think it was actually a P2, but don't quote me on that. Now, again, it could do with this showroom bigger. I think it basically needs more depth of field more than anything. That would help it no end. But again, lovely car. Drives really, really nicely as well. That's covered all the vehicles. If we then go to tracks, what's been added is Mount Panorama Bathurst. Now, along with the, as I said, the 2020 Stockcar very late edition, this was a very, very late edition, literally only added last night to the beta. I never even got to drive it, so we'll have a laugh in a minute and see if I can kill myself on Bathurst. It's work in progress. It's not finished, so I'm not 100% sure what else is due to be done on it. It'll be interesting to see how it compares with the ACC version. I think this is done from a laser scan, although I'm not 100% sure. Certainly, I hope it's as accurate as, or even more accurate, who knows, than ACC's version. Second new track is Brasilia, which has, like Interlagos Classic, 2 layouts with a sort of long winding course that makes absolutely maximum use of the amount of land available to give it as much track as you can humanly get in. The only way to get any more in there is just make it go down there a bit more. But you couldn't get a lot more track in that area, I don't think. And then it's also got just the outer ring, which is, I think, somewhat shorter than Interlagos outer ring. I think it's actually quite a bit shorter. But again, that's the sort of thing that would work quite well with quite a few cars. Possibly things with a little less downforce. So you don't want something that's going to go around the corners too quickly, but you want something that you can sort of drag down the straights on and draft other things. So again, I have actually driven around here a couple of times and it's quite good fun. We'll find out in a minute. The Granja Viana kart tracks, which are, hopefully they've got the track maps now, and there's 4 layouts here. I don't know. Oh bugger, wrong button again, stop pressing that button. As you can see, there's a lot of potential layouts there. You could probably have about 5 billion layouts, I think. I don't think any of them. I think there's like, better use my mouse, otherwise you won't know what I'm talking about. Round here, I almost get the impression you should be able to sort of go flying around the outside and just sort of use the outside part. But they don't seem to have allowed you to do that. They're all, I think all of them avoid going up there. Yeah, they do. We will try one of those out. I'm not going to do all 4. No, not today. Might do the shortest one because I'm not sure where I'm going. Or I might do the longest one. We'll find out in a minute when we get to it. And last but not least in terms of tracks, There's the Cascais Portugal track. Why they decided to call it that? They were calling it the Riviera. They've changed their mind. But I just called it Estoril, because I think that's Estoril, isn't it? Was it Estoril? Bit of brain fade going on. So, yeah, I think that's Estoril. All in all, a nice selection of tracks. And what we're going to do is drive a car or something in the car line around one of these for each, and we're going to start with Brasilia, and we're going to try the Stockcar 2020. So wish me luck, because I might need it. Oh, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one should we go for? Let's go with a Toyota. And I am in test today, aren't I? Yes. Right. No idea how this is going to go. Like I said, I've done a couple of laps around here just to work out where the corners are. There are one or two corners that are actually quite difficult to work out what you're coming up to, so it might take a few laps to get your brain in gear. Don't want to move myself back a bit. Beep 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 beep. Did he say turn left or right? I can't remember. Must have said that way. Looks like I'm going the right way. Yeah, there's quite a lot of things hanging in front of you facing the windscreen here. So there's whatever this thing is. Ooh. I'll look at where I'm going. Then there's the number on the screen, and then there's all this metal work up the side here. So quite interesting lack of view. So I'm almost tempted to go, should I change the view and have I actually got the dart? Have I not got the dart? Oh, I have. Oh, that's quite loud. We'll do a sort of slow lap. Loads of people standing on the bridge, spectators. Nice view of the city over there, and this rather interesting and amazing looking building on the right, which you should see a bit more of as we go around the corner. I'm assuming it's some sort of sports stadium. I've got no clue, but amazing looking building. As you can see, they've got all the proper signage. I'm assuming that's like on the right there is a giant screen. Might have some giant screaming from there in a minute. And I have to say, overall, I don't know whether they're going to go for a slightly greener look to the grass, because all the grass looks a bit dead. But presumably it's whatever time of the year it is, that's what it's meant to look like. So. Overall, nicely done. The circuit feels like it's got plenty of little undulations and motion from the track surface. Again, you've got all sorts of interesting things around the circuit, half of which I haven't got a clue what they are, but they really have done a good job of getting the cityscape and everything right, so it looks pretty good. Now if we go back in the car and we'll do a bit of driving around. In terms of the car, stone cold tyres. I assume it's got push to pass of some description, because it's got a little symbol that would indicate something like push to pass or DRS or something along those lines. Presumably, no, it's not DRS. There's a separate thing that says DRS, you plonker. So presumably push to pass or something. And I'm not sure I've got a button set up to do that. I think it might be that one. No, that one. No, that one. No, definitely isn't that one. No, ain't that one. Perhaps I haven't got something set up. But, the circuit looks very nice, and this car, I did have a quick go with the gamepad the other day, and it felt a little skittish, but I think it has had a couple of changes made since then. Circuit looks great. Definitely rotates quite nicely. You can force the car to rotate a bit. I think this year's stock cars are meant to be a lot less. What's the word I'm looking for? Got less aero, possibly. So they're meant to be a little bit more skittish and difficult to drive. Which this, compared to the other newish stock car, is definitely a lot more lively in terms of how it feels. I would need, I think, a lot more laps to do it justice, because I'm trying to work out where I am and how I'm driving at the same time. Not always a good idea, but I mean, it sounds fine. Yeah, bit wide, bit wide, bit wide, bit wide. Definitely feels like it's got all the right ingredients to make for an interesting car, but I said I'd need to do few more laps, and that turns a lot tighter than I thought it was. It's a little bit like Interlagos Classic, but just less of it. So there's a lot of, it's all, as I said, it basically turns in on itself quite a lot. So I'm not going to do too many laps around here for obvious reasons. I don't want to spend all day talking, because you'll get bored with me. So that's that one, or that combo. What was I going to do next? I thought Estoril and the Lotus 72. So I'm definitely on a hiding to nothing for this one, because I haven't actually driven the where the hell are they going? Formula Retros at all. So, and Estoril, which is Cascais, and this is definitely going to be interesting or disastrous, or interestingly disastrous. I'm not sure which. Like I said, I haven't actually driven this at all, so this will be a learning experience. Those clocks look so beautifully crisp. I know a couple of people have said, oh, they look absolutely amazing, but I thought, oh yeah, whatever. But this is the first time I sat in it, and the first thing I think is, my God, they look bloody good. Now, like I said, haven't driven it, don't know what it's going to be like, so let's see what I can learn. I have got a reasonable idea where the track goes. Whether it's reasonable enough to actually get around without killing myself, I don't know, but lots and lots of trucks and vans and things, plenty of spectators, presumably from the stand, you'll be able to see a whole load of people. Probably won't be able to see as we come around the corner. Probably something ooh, like that camera angle. Ooh, that sounds nice. I know some people will go, can we have a bit more exhaust noise whilst we're in the cockpit, but honestly there's so much stuff behind you, I'm not sure how much of the exhaust you'd hear, so there's always a bit of a balancing act for the devs to decide, do we go with more of this, do we go with more of that, and so I don't know now. Right, in terms of view and vista, my god, that's great, isn't it? Nice hill-covered tree side over there. Tree-covered hillside over there. Hill-covered tree side? What are you talking about, you prat? Love the little sort of marshal posts. Loads of people watching on the hillside, on the bank there. Loads of nice little details. Again, you can see the back of a stand over there. Reese are obviously advertising their own product. Whoops. Have I done it again? Yeah, I had. I keep flicking the bloody switch to change between H paddle and sequential on my H pattern shifter, which is rather annoying because you got to put it in the third gear and it goes, no, I don't know what you're talking about, because that's actually a completely different button to the one you think it's going to be. Again, lovely attention to detail. All those nice villas up on the hillside, loads of villas around here. Ambuli. I don't like the term ambulances. I'm sure the plural of ambulance should be ambuli. I'll argue that till I'm dead, I'm sure I will, as I'm picked up in an ambuli to go to hospital. Lacking a bit of front end bite, which most of these cars will, because they've got huge rear tyres and lots of wing at the back, not so much at the front, so they do all tend to be a little understeer if you're not careful. But again, beautifully modelled circuit, plenty of plenty of, what was the word I was looking for? Detail in the tarmac. Obviously, a bit more heat in the tyres wouldn't go amiss if you're going to actually push the car, but we're not, because we're not going to get a lot of heat in the tyres doing 2 laps around here. It does sound nice. It's got plenty of they changed the sort of backfire and crackles a bit, so they're a bit more likely to happen on downshifts and when you're on the overrun like this. So got lots of nice crackly noises. A lot less likely to happen on the upshifts. Oops, wrong gear. That was third. Now I'm just trying to remember what the hell the last game I played actually had Estoril in it, and I can't for the life of me think. Let's give it a bit of welly, see if it actually understeers or... Yeah, you should be able to get drifty out, sideways action out of this car coming out of that. Oh, we might actually do one more lap, because just to see if we can get a little bit. Oh, maybe not. I was going to say, see if we can get a bit more heat in the front tyres. I think they could do a little bit of brake balance changes, maybe. I'm not sure what the brake balance is. I will have a quick look in a second. It's one of these cars that will take a while to get the hang of. It's certainly not the same as a modern F1 car, where it just goes really pointy. You need to sort of finesse it into the corners and then decide at what point you're going to make it oversteer. I think the brakes are they getting a bit warm? Might need to play with brake heating and cooling via the ducts a bit to make sure they're in the right ballpark. They did actually change the steel brake heating a bit. They basically wait for the front end to grip and then the back end starts to turn and you're just basically sliding out the corner. So, again, really nice circuit and a car. I think it'll take you a while to get used to, but quite nice. If we just, can we just nip? Yeah, that was. Looks like my frame rate took a bit of a diver. Yeah, it's definitely a bit too yellow to do with it being a bit more gold. You can see why it understeers like a pig. I mean, look at the size of the front tyres compared with the rears. It's like... It's like having a shopping trolley front tyres on it or something, isn't it? So there's a very specific driving technique which I haven't actually got at the moment, so... Yeah, that didn't look that good from the replay. It actually looked better from the onboard, but there you go. But that's Estoril, another great looking circuit. Next we will have a look at, I think, should we do the kart circuit? Have a look at the kart circuit first and then go to Bathurst as the last one. I think we'll look at the kart track first. What was it called? That one. Which one should we do? Yeah, let's do that one. Whatever. I don't think we use that though. I think we'll go with a 125 shifter kart. Shifter. Mr. Shifter. He was a chimpanzee. I think that was right. That was a PG Tips advert. Mr. Shifter, the chimpanzee shifting things around. Don't ask. Right. It's a shifter kart. Stick it in gear, you muppet. Where's the circuit? Oh, it's over there. Right. Again, loads and loads of work on the buildings around the outside. Loads of buildings. I assume at some point they might put some people in the stands. I don't know. Right, I think we're actually on the circuit now. It looks like at some point it may have had a few different layouts. Like this one, as I said, it has this straight over there bit, but you can't go that way unfortunately. It looks like it would be damn scary going around there actually. It's going, it looks pretty good. It's one of those, because it looks like it's in a bit of an industrial area, there's possibly not as much interesting things to see around the outside, because it's like, well, it's sort of like a big building over there with an asbestos roof or something. It's hardly the most interesting thing in the world. Nice building over there to look at. A few sheds that make up, presumably, additional places to prepare your carts. Now, I'm pretty sure they said it changed. I think it goes this way. I kept going the other side of the, when I tried it out the other day, I kept going. Whoa! Don't hit the curb too hard. Ooh, wrong way. Got a bit of a habit of rotating on the curves around here because they're banked quite heavily. So don't drive on the curves too much. Also, clutches are what am I trying to say? I haven't got the auto clutch on, so I'm having to blip the throttle. I don't know which side of the thing you're meant to go to. No, not that way. Quite easy to get lost here. Like I said, plenty of layouts to choose from. There's only 4, but I think they could have made about 40 if they really wanted to. I'm not sure you're meant to go that way. I think that's the way the track map went, so. That's definitely different. Like I said, the curbs are a bit, the ones that are heavily sloped are a bit dangerous. Probably something to do with the size of the tyres, and the interaction with the curbs makes, effectively, you end up jacking the cart or something weird. So don't drive on those curbs too much. Other than that, looks nice. Right, last but not least, by a long chalk, is Bathurst. Or as somebody kept spelling it, Bathurst. You know who you are if you're watching this, don't you? I'm not going to say any names. Right, I said I would try the GT4 Supercup round here and hope I don't regret it. Oh, bugger. I meant to do livery. What other liveries you got? Go with the one closest to my IQ currently. That'll do. It's about what it feels like at the moment. Right. At least we've got a background picture now. When we loaded this up the other day, it had a white background. Estoril was the same, so there are supposed to be probably a couple of tidy up sessions coming out later in the week, and I have to say, obviously Super Cheap Auto is quite a big sponsor of the V8 Supercar series, and that in the land down under, as they say, and I have to say that's quite a high quality texture. I'll get the right word in a minute. Now, first thing you say is conquer the mountain. This is definitely whip, so there might be a lot less things like people viewing. Definitely no kangaroos bouncing around, and we'll just go to an external view so we can get a better view without all the bits and pieces in the way. Plenty of variety of trees, which I'm assuming are still... You can tell a good bloody tree when you can't tell whether or not it's actually a billboard or not. They are billboards. Yeah, they are billboards. I have to say, they're bloody excellent, because I look at that and I go, is that actually 2D or 3D? As we drive underneath it, it seems to rotate. That's a billboard. So, but you ain't going to notice that when you're racing, I assure you. Right, I don't know how accurate that is, but there's definitely somebody lives halfway up here. I have to say, if you were going to have a place, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you go and live where you can get a really good view of racing? You can't get much better than living on the edge of a circuit that has as many good races every year as this does. Now, personally, I've always found Bathurst as being a bit of an enigma, shall we say. I sort of spent more time crashing on it than anything else. I have to say the texturing is looking good. Nice, you can just see the in the middle of the track there, the tarmac lines where the overlays on. I don't know if it's due to have a bit more grass, because I'm not sure there's any at all at the moment, although there's some up the top there, a bit over there, but whether there's going to be a bit more grass added, I don't know. Itchy nose. The wall's a bit blue. And I'm assuming some of these various billboards will be worked on a bit to give them a little bit more life than just having Clubsport on them, which is presumably the Fanatec Clubsports. Oh, that's a noisy gear change. Oh, you can see Mount Panorama on the side of the mountain over there. So far, it's all looking pretty good. It feels like there's little undulations in it that you would expect. Not enough impact marks on the wall yet. I haven't been round yet. All in all, it looks pretty damn good. Like I said, so far I think pretty much in terms of track layout, I haven't seen anything that I would go, well, that's definitely not being laser scanned. I have to say, it shows how often I've driven around slowly. I can't ever remember seeing that building up there. That dodgy place to sit, isn't it? Now, ACC definitely has a bit of a lump just as you get on the brakes there. Good vistas, Now, whether or not the track is quite the right camber and everything, I'm not the person to ask. I wouldn't know. We will try it a little bit quicker in a minute, hopefully without killing anything. In terms of how it looks so far, it's looking pretty damn good. I'm assuming they're Marshall's posts, the little sort of semi-shed-like things with a bit of a tin roof on here. So I assume at some point they will have Marshalls in them. In terms of where the walls are, in terms of where the track seems to be going, everything looks pretty hunky-dory. It's sometimes actually due to the fact it's a completely different colour scheme and layout to like ACC, it's a bit hard to tell whether or not it's actually the same. Sometimes you can be confused. Your brain can be confused by colours. Also things like if the horizon's slightly different, it can skew your perception of how accurate a track is. I know a lot of people said that the Norgecliff in Project Cars 2 wasn't as accurate as the Norgecliff in other games when they all came off the same laser scan data, which is like, well, I know there were some differences in like hillsides at various points, and some of them the hills seem to go slightly different directions, or weren't as tall, or weren't as, and that can actually skew your how you perceive the track camera and everything quite a bit. So I don't know if that was the issue or what, but so far this all looks pretty damn good. Like I said, this is obviously work in progress because it's got lots of things missing, but the main bits, the track and the basic surrounds, all look pretty damn good. I don't know whether it's going to have a bit more grass along here, or whether it actually already has and it's just a bit short. Plenty of things over there, but not any people at the moment. I think they haven't actually added much in the way of spectators, so it's a bit they're obviously doing quite a lot of social distancing. Now this is going to be a pain in the bum, this car, because on the left side here is a horrendous amount of ironmongery, making it very difficult to see where the hell the left side of the car is. So let's do a slightly quicker lap. Anything under 10 minutes will be good. Especially with relatively stone cold tyres. Like I said, this thing's got no traction control, no ABS, and it's got stone cold brakes, so that should make for some interesting braking. Go down the extra gear just to make sure everything's safe for the first couple of corners. Yep, that's definitely a very limited view out on the left side there. I can't remember the last time I drove a GT4 car around here, so I just feel like it's got a little bit of a lack of front end bite at the moment, so let's be extra careful. Now that feels pretty damn close to what I've been doing for the last few days, which is I'm practicing a bit around Bathurst, because I'm doing a 9-hour in a week and a half, and not by myself, I'm not that bloody stupid. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this compares. An interesting flicker going on there, so I don't know whether there's something weird happening with the LODs or something. notice there's no brake markers of any description, which makes for a little bit of an interesting time when it comes to deciding where to brake. I think we might actually do one more lap. Like I said, it was hardly fast, but I'm not that quick around here anyway, so I was doing 2:05-ish in a 488 GT3 Ferrari around here the other day. That was me being safe, not fast. At least that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Also, I'm finding the lack of ability to see the left-hand apex is very off-putting, actually. Oh, that's tight. That's tight, so get off the grass. This is a bit that always kills me because I always make a mistake here somewhere, so. Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad. It feels a little numb on the front end, this car. Whether again I need to sort out my FFB a bit more to get more out of the car, or whether I just need to push it a bit harder, not sure. But it feels okay, but could be a little bit better. Well, that actually felt better then, so whether it's just a little bit of getting used to required as well, I don't know. Damn, that's slow. Overall, I think the new cars, the new tracks are all looking good, and if they're not finished, they have huge potential. If they are finished, they look great. But I think it's a case of give Reset a bit more time to have a bit more of a play, and I think this will be absolutely brilliant. Obviously there's more tracks to come. If you haven't already got the latest version of the game, get it, because AMS2 at the moment is going to carry on during the Steam Summer Sale with its 20% off, and anybody who buys it before the Steam Summer Sale ends will get all the Hockenheim DLC that will include, I think it was 4 circuits, free of charge and gratis. So well worth getting. Lots and lots of potential there for improvement in various things, especially sort of like adding the little niceties around here like brake markers. I know they're great until they disappear, but yeah, it's got a few things to be added to it. Like they said, work in progress. Don't get too worried about it. It will get worked on, and I have no doubt, probably knowing Reset, by the end of the week I'll have all the brake markers and everything else in it. In terms of layout and feel, it feels absolutely great, and it feels about the same as in terms of layout ACC. I'd need to drive a few more cars around it. I did think, should I try the Aussie V8, but I thought I will actually go with this instead, as it's one of the new cars. So I might have a go with the Aussie V8 in a minute, or I might not, because it's 9:30. Blimey, I've been talking for an hour. God, do I waffle or what? So for me, for now, stay safe, enjoy your racing, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Where's the button? There's the button. Where's the button?